right, so first step is you're going to put your plate down. It shouldn't go off the edge, and then you're just going to trace it. You don't have to do this right now, just watch me. Okay, you might want to start just drawing very light, because everything we draw in this class, you want to draw light. That's why you want an H pencil. Then I'm going to do a line down the middle. You can kind of just eyeball it for what's in the middle. I do one line down, and then I'm going to do a cross. Like this. So then in between that cross is two sections. Okay, so I'm going to go through the middle. Let's see. Hopefully I do this right. So one here, and then one more. Okay, so two lines, and they should try your best to make them equally spaced. So in between every section, you're going to have two equally spaced sections. 1, 2. And when you count them out, you should have 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. From there, we don't really have a compass to make the smaller one, so I want you to dot it and try and make it equal so you can turn your paper a little, and you're going to create these sections. I dot circles because it's easier. And then you're going to do that one, and then you're going to do a small circle in the middle. 2. And then you're going to erase in the middle. Actually, let's not erase in the middle. I want to do something else. So sorry. We're going to keep that in the middle. Because you know what? I think we should do shades in the middle. Okay. So then what you're going to do, I'm going to show you how you're going to, well, why don't you label it? So the top one, find like the top. So this is going to be, you can label it on the outside red, orange, orange, yellow, orange, yellow, yellow, green, 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 blue, 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 violet, violet. So the other word for violet is purple, red, violet. Okay, so put red at the top. Now I'm just going to show you the painting part. So I'll pass out, you're going to get your water, and you're going to need a paper towel, and I'm going to just quickly show you this. So in your watercolor palette, or this is your watercolor palette, if yours looks different, you still probably have this blank space. This is where you're going to mix the paint. So I recommend when you do, the first step you do is you want to get your water, and you want to wet all of these colors. Once again, don't do this right now. I want you to just watch. So I'm going to wet all my colors first, and in between that, I wash out my brush because I don't want to mix all those colors up. So wet them all. Okay, if you have your own watercolor set that has all the tertiary colors and all that, I just want you to use the regular colors in the rainbow for this, because you're gonna mix. Okay, so for the first one, you're gonna do the normal color, then you're gonna add water to make the tint, and then you're gonna add the shade. So, for instance, for the red, you're going to get your red, and you're going to put it in the palette like this, and I would add a tiny bit of water to that. so you have a good puddle. Now with watercolor, normally we want to test our color on a test strip. So you can use a test strip and test what it looks like. So I like that color. You want it pretty opaque, which is what, like bright. And watch how I do this. So I'm moving side to side in a fast, quick motion. So one, and I should always have kind of a drip on the side. It shouldn't fade out. If it starts to fade out, then get more paint. And you really want to practice staying in the lines for this. Okay, so I got that. And then what if I have like a big drip left? I'm going to wash out my brush, and then you're going to dab it on your paper towel, and you can pick up that excess with a dry brush. So one thing with watercolor, hey, you guys don't be doing anything. Your eyeballs should be up here. I already said don't do it. We're watching. Okay, so this is flat. I don't want you to go back in. You can go over the whole thing if you want it darker, but the more you go back in, you don't want to mess it up. That's one thing with watercolor. You don't want to mess it up. Let it dry for a second. Now we're going to do the tint. So that is a lighter version. So I'm going to take that puddle and I'm going to add a little bit more water and dilute it to get the lighter color. And then I'm going to do that tint. So it should be lighter. And I'm holding my paper a little bit so it comes down. And I actually work quite fast in watercolor. That's one skill. You want to work fast. Why? Because if it dries, you're going to get these spots. Okay, so there's the tint. The next one, you're going to do the shade. So you can mix red and then add the smallest amount of black, and you'll get a little bit of a shade. And then you can do the shade in here, and it should be like I have a lot of water, so I'm going to add a little bit more. And then I'm going to do the shade. So this is like, I can see I have like a drip in there. I'm going to dry off my brush and use my dry brush to soak it up. If you want to make it darker, you would let it dry and go over the whole thing. Okay, so you're going to go around. Now, okay, for red, orange, what you're going to do is you're going to mix mostly red and a tad of orange. So red-orange should look more red than orange. And you want to add a tiny bit of water so you get that to move. So red and orange. And then you can do that. So I'm going to put up a color wheel so you can match them up there. In fact, I have color wheels to pass out. Okay, and then you would work quite fast. And then you would dilute that with water. And I'm going to stop this